My mother was incredibly frugal. She couldn't bear to throw away expired medicine. She secretly swapped it with my pregnant sister-in-law, Sophia's, medication. I caught her in time and exposed her actions. Sophia escaped harm, yet still claimed that saving money was a good thing. Mother was just setting an example for the whole family. Afterward, my sister-in-law and mother, wanting to save money on a confinement nurse, persuaded me to drop out of school to care for the baby, then forced me into an arranged marriage with a 60-year-old man. Unable to escape, I was eventually driven to my death by Sophia. Suddenly, I was reborn. I found my mother secretly swapping medicine again. She moved cautiously, taking Sophia's bag from the sofa, furtively extracting the medication, then replacing it. As she made the switch, she glanced around nervously, terrified of being caught. Witnessing this familiar scene, I stood on the balcony, my gaze fixed on the calendar, completely stunned. The next moment, Mother saw me. Her body tensed, her voice trembling. Ilara, what are you doing here?" In my past life, this was exactly where it happened. Knowing my mother's peculiar habits, I immediately rushed over and, as expected, found the expired medication. Even though my brother and sister-in-law didn't treat me well for Sophia's pregnancy, for the child inside her, and for their future, I directly exposed the matter. Giving expired medicine to a pregnant woman, all to uphold a good habit of saving money. My mother's logic astounded the entire family. My brother instantly flew into a rage, yelling and questioning her on the spot. Mother, as she had countless times before, just cried, appearing utterly wronged. "What harm could it do?" she wailed. "I didn't know. The medicine only expired half a month ago. It would be such a waste to throw it away. It's prenatal medicine anyway, and Sophia is the only pregnant woman in this house." My brother was so furious he laughed, and I was speechless. I immediately looked up information on the spot, explaining to Mother the dangers of expired medication for pregnant women. Realizing her mistake, Mother cried even harder. She slapped me twice. "I just wanted to save a little money. What's wrong with that? Fine, I've sacrificed so much for this family. Are you all trying to drive me to my death? Then I'll die for you to see." With that, she ran to the balcony, as if to jump. Father angrily pulled her back, giving her a sharp slap. Mother felt incredibly wronged and cried that she no longer wanted to live. At that moment, Sophia actively embraced Mother, saying, "Saving money is a good thing, Mother. You're just setting an example for the whole family." The family was stunned, staring in disbelief. Mother, leaning into Sophia's arms, immediately burst into desperate sobs. Her cries echoed through the room. "That's right," Mother choked out. "Only you in this house understand me." Sophia cast a quick glance at me, then spoke up, chastising me. "Ilara, you really are something. Mother gave birth to you, raised you, it wasn't easy. It's just a little medicine swap. Do you really need to make such a fuss? Look how upset Mother is now." Immediately, the whole family turned to stare at me, as if I were the instigator of all the evening's troubles. Like countless times before, I had always been the one to endure, to back down, all for the sake of family peace. Since the moment I took the blame, I felt as if Mother and Sophia had me completely under their thumb. They would always say, "The family doesn't have enough money, let's save a little." "Ilara, don't go to school for now. Come home and watch the baby for a year." "Ilara, don't eat so much, save a little. We don't even have enough for the baby's formula." "Raising a child is expensive, the family doesn't have enough money." "Ilara, you're a member of this family too. Marry soon and bring in a dowry for the family." "He's just a little older, what are you being so picky about? He's offering $1 million for the dowry." "How much baby formula and diapers can that buy? You're his aunt, how can you be so selfish?" Mother and Sophia pressured me, and I was utterly bewildered, kneeling on the ground, begging them. In Sophia's eyes, there was the smug satisfaction of a successful conspiracy. On Mother's face, the glee of revenge. In that moment, I truly realized the real faces of my family and clearly understood my own foolishness and pathetic state. I wanted to escape, but Mother and Sophia were hot on my heels. I slipped and fell from the upper floor, sustaining severe injuries on the spot. In the end, it was still because of saving money. They ended up saving my very life. Now Mother was swapping medicine, and I had discovered her, but I hadn't exposed her yet. Mother's voice trembled, continuing to press. "Ilara, what are you doing here? Are you hungry? I'll go to the kitchen and make you something to eat." I almost burst out laughing. My mother was the most frugal person. There were only 3 meals a day in our house, absolutely no snacks or late-night meals. Recalling the past, I deliberately teased her. "What are you doing, Mother? Is that Sophia's medicine you're holding?" Mother suddenly pulled her hand behind her back, her forehead breaking out in a cold sweat, her body trembling with guilt. "No, no, nothing." I deliberately walked over and retrieved the medicine she was hiding behind her back. There were 2 bottles. I shook them in front of her. "Ilara, Ilara, Ilara." Mother's lips trembled, her tension growing as she reached out to snatch the bottles back, but I wouldn't let her have her way. Right in front of her, I carefully read the instructions on the medicine. Perhaps seeing that she was exposed, Mother hastily explained, "Ilara, I didn't mean to. It really is too wasteful to throw away. And Sophia is the only pregnant woman in this house, you know." Mother's eyes were wide, filled with hope, staring intently at me, afraid I would reveal her secret. My mother loved to save money, but she loved her reputation even more. My heart grew cold, but the smile on my face became even brighter. I said, "Of course. Your frugality is setting a good example for the whole family, Mother." Mother's guard dropped. I affectionately hugged her, showering her with praise. "It's all thanks to your diligent saving, Mother, otherwise, how could this family be where it is today?" In reality, my mother's extreme frugality, besides satisfying her emotional self-worth, made everyone in the family miserable. As I praised her, I could see Mother completely relax. In less than 3 seconds, she became smug and boastful, recounting her glorious achievements over the years. Mother said, "If I didn't go to the market every night to buy cheap vegetables, spending no more than 100 yuan a month on groceries, I wouldn't have saved enough for the down payment on this new house." In truth, she would pick up withered vegetable leaves from the market for my brother and me to eat. From childhood, both of us were malnourished and frequently ill. Later, Father had to step in, spending no less than 30,000 yuan annually on our health. Mother continued, "And these clothes don't cost anything either. You wouldn't believe how much I've saved." Because of this, from childhood to adulthood, our entire family was looked down upon by relatives and friends. Our family income was clearly not bad, yet I remained self-conscious and sensitive. Mother even added, "Remember the house renovation from before? I handled the new house renovation all by myself. Compared to the neighbors upstairs and downstairs, I saved our family so much." But the materials were too cheap, all high-risk carcinogens. Father and I were so scared that we rushed to pay for renovations again, spending another 200,000 yuan. The more Mother spoke, the more smug she became. I played the role of a dutiful daughter, all ears, until Mother tired herself out and wanted to go to sleep. I yawned and kindly offered a piece of advice. "Oh, right, Mother. Expired medicine is very harmful to pregnant women. It's better not to save this bit of money." Mother's lips drooped, clearly displeased. I added another line, "Sophia usually complains about your excessive frugality. If she finds out about this medicine swap, she'll definitely scold you, Mother." Mother put her hands on her hips. "She wouldn't dare. I'm her mother-in-law. If she disrespects me, people will talk behind her back." I just smiled, said nothing, and went straight back to my room. Early the next morning, before 6 a.m., Sophia called me from my room. She had a bright smile, feigning kindness. "Ilara isn't awake yet?" "Oh no, that won't do. I woke you up, Ilara. Your father and brother worked late last night. Other daughters prepare breakfast and packed lunches for them. I thought you would too. But you're so spoiled, Ilara. I woke you up, and both your father and brother are unhappy now. Or perhaps I, with a baby on the way, should go and prepare it." In my past life, it was exactly like this. I was young and cared too much about appearances. Sophia, with her sweet words and dark heart, always exploited my love for the family to manipulate me. But now I yawned, blinked sleepily, and nodded. "All right, then you go ahead and prepare it. Oh, and by the way, no need for anything complicated for breakfast. No fried buns, fried dough sticks, soy milk, etc." "Ilara, what did you say?" Amid Sophia's astonishment and misunderstanding, I repeated myself. Sophia's face darkened, clearly unhappy. I yawned languidly in front of her, preparing to go back to sleep. Then, "On behalf of my brother and father, I thank you. Oh, and you don't need to make anything for me. I plan to sleep until noon. I won't be eating breakfast or lunch." In the evening, my brother and father questioned me, scolding me for being lazy, calling me heartless for letting a pregnant Sophia work so hard. I really couldn't hold it in, I thought, smiling. I had just finished a holiday yesterday, traveled for over 20 hours on a train to get home, only slept one night, and Sophia was already bossing me around like this. At the scene, Sophia acted pitiful, crying, "Father-in-law, both of you, don't blame Ilara." She doesn't like housework, we can understand that. She was preparing a long speech. Just as I was about to speak, someone pulled me back. My mother stood in front of me and said, "Early in the morning, fried buns, fried dough sticks, soy milk, tofu pudding, how much effort and time does that take? Elara just got home last night, are you trying to work her to death?" Huh, I was dumbfounded, and Sophia also stood rooted to the spot. My mother continued to scold, "It's just breakfast. A little porridge, some pickled vegetables, and you're done. Why do you have to make such a big show and spend so much money? My son provides for you, so it's one thing if you don't earn money. But to be so extravagant and then talk behind my back about how frugal I am, aren't you ashamed? Am I treating you badly?" Hearing these words, I understood. My mother was taking this opportunity to take revenge on Sophia. When it came to sensitivity and insecurity, my mother's level far surpassed mine. She couldn't stand being negated by others. Especially at home, the more she scolded, the more intense she became. Sophia was used to playing the role of the kind, good person at home. She could only cry in protest. Sophia cried fiercely, and after a while, she complained of a stomach ache. My brother, worried, stopped Mother from continuing. Father, knowing it was futile to reason with Mother, directly dragged her inside, roughly and unreasonably. From that day on, the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law relationship became hostile. Mother, displeased with Sophia, started talking about family matters outside. From our floor to the entire building, then to the entire neighborhood, it was as if the whole world knew Mother was unhappy with Sophia. Sophia, accustomed to being a good person, initially tried hard to appease Mother. The mother-in-law-daughter-in-law relationship softened a little, but it couldn't stand me being in the middle. I understood each person in the family too well. In the past, for the sake of family peace, I went everywhere covering up, hiding, and mediating. Now, I only chose to remain selectively silent and selectively tell the truth. Mother became even more displeased with Sophia. Sophia's attempts to appease her were repeatedly met with humiliation from Mother. After several such incidents, Sophia felt humiliated and began to use the same tricks she had once used on me against Mother. From then on, chaos erupted in the house. Sophia intentionally made Mother unhappy, and Mother would get angry in front of the whole family. Sophia would then act weak and cry, even speaking up for Mother. But the more she spoke, the more dissatisfied Father and my brother became with Mother, making Mother even angrier. And each time I would step in, just like Sophia had in my past life, defending Mother. I would say Mother didn't mean it. It wasn't easy for her to take care of the whole family. Sophia, brother, father, why can't you all be a little more understanding? At this point, the angry mother would transform into a pitiful, weak, and innocent person, as she had countless times before. Mother would recount her sacrifices for the family, accusing everyone of coercing her. Finally, to calm things down, Sophia would naturally be forced to bow her head and apologize. Sophia gnashed her teeth in anger, but had no choice but to comply. In the confrontations between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, Sophia was very skilled at understanding people's psychology. She would secretly bring home all kinds of meat and fish behind Mother's back, buy brand-name clothes and shoes for my brother, give Father pocket money, and even buy me all sorts of cosmetics and skincare products. Indeed, ever since the mother-in-law-daughter-in-law discord, Sophia, to win me over, not only disliked me working but also praised me wildly, spent money on me, and took me out to eat and play. I accepted all these benefits, but when conflicts arose, I would occasionally side with Sophia. Mother's face was dark every day. She controlled the family finances and became even more maniacal in her ritual of saving. It was as if to prove that frugality was a virtue, or perhaps to retaliate against the entire family. Mother would pick up discarded seafood. The whole family would get diarrhea after eating it. Sophia ate less, but as a pregnant woman, her body was weaker. She felt unwell in her stomach. My brother took her to the hospital and brought back a pile of test reports with poor indicators. Because the baby's health was not good, Sophia and my brother returned with grim faces. Father hurriedly went to the kitchen to make food for them. Mother stopped him, simultaneously cursing, "What are you eating? How hard is it to earn money these days? You don't take care of your own health, and you dare to spend so much money at the hospital. Even the Queen Mother of the West isn't as extravagant." This was a sarcastic remark. Sophia, being pregnant, couldn't bear the injustice. She immediately clutched her belly and cried. The neighbors all saw Mother picking up seafood from the trash can. Mother, the baby in my belly is also your grandchild. What exactly do you want to do? My brother and father also felt Mother was going too far and began to scold her. As for me, I stood by, enjoying the drama. These kinds of arguments happened every 3 days for a small skirmish, every 5 days for a big one. Each time, I realized how important I was to this family. After a while of arguing, Sophia and Mother simultaneously asked me, "Ilara, do you think Mother is right?" I didn't answer directly, but asked in return, "Children are the most important. What are you fighting about right now?" "Father, brother, the local medical resources aren't good. Let's rest for a night. Tomorrow, take Sophia to a higher-level hospital for examination." Father and brother praised me on the spot, hurrying to pack. They prepared to go to the higher-level hospital the next day. I comforted Sophia, who thought she had won. She pulled me aside to talk. Only Mother hadn't achieved the victory she expected, and with no one by her side, she felt ignored. She flared up, "Don't go, why go to a higher-level hospital? How much money will that cost? In my opinion, she's just faking it." This time, Sophia was truly wronged and cried heartbrokenly. Mother couldn't hold back and lunged at Sophia, slapping her. Neither of them was a gentle soul, and they fell into a fight. Carelessly, a bottle of medicine fell from Mother's pocket. Yes, I had carelessly put it in Mother's pocket. Sophia picked it up and saw the expiration date. Clatter! The bottle fell to the floor and rolled a few times. Sophia's face turned pale with fright, her lips trembled, and for a long time she couldn't speak. Realizing something, Mother's face tensed, and she hurried to pick up the bottle. But she was a step too late. My brother had already picked it up. Last October, it was October. "Now it's December," Sophia stammered. "This medicine has an 18-month shelf life. It's expired, it's expired." The whole family was shocked. Mother, startled, quickly snatched the bottle. My brother tried to get it back, but Mother refused. The more she resisted, the angrier my brother became. "Mother, what are you doing? What exactly do you want to do?" Sophia cried out in panic, weeping and furiously reprimanding her mother-in-law. "Mother, pregnant women cannot take expired medication. Mother, even if you don't like me, even if you hate me, you can't treat me like this." Before, Sophia had feigned injustice, but now she was genuinely wronged. Sophia cried, clutching my brother's sleeve, her face full of desperation for help. My brother angrily questioned Mother, who, having done wrong, habitually cried and feigned ignorance, repeatedly claiming she didn't know. The more my brother pressed, the more Mother raged. It was a waste giving birth to this son. She called my brother unfilial. Father was so enraged he grabbed Mother and hit her, his blows strong and heavy, but this time no one stopped him. Mother cried, asking me, "Ilara, how wasteful and shameful. This medicine is only a little past its expiration date. Only pregnant women can take it. If Sophia weren't pregnant, I would have taken it myself." In an instant, the whole family looked at me, their gazes converging. My eyes swept around, finally settling on Sophia's face, and I spoke, word by word, "Wrong is wrong, right is right. There's no debating this matter." My brother and Sophia agreed wholeheartedly, repeatedly praising my words. Father said I was sensible and took the opportunity to lecture Mother again. At the higher-level hospital, the situation was even worse. The doctor suggested terminating the pregnancy. The atmosphere at home grew heavier. Even though Mother was reluctant, she still had to spend a significant amount of money. Finally, after consulting many doctors, they all received similar answers. But everyone in the family, except me, wanted to keep the baby. I didn't get involved. Whatever happened to the baby had nothing to do with me. The baby was born, crying weakly, underweight, but generally healthy. Under Mother's guidance, the whole family became even more stingy and frugal. But raising a child couldn't be overly economized. In my past life, Sophia had been determined to exploit me. Mother hated me for humiliating her, and she was influenced by Sophia's preference for sons over daughters in the household. Father and brother would never give up the benefits they already had. And so, the whole family slowly pushed me into hell. This time, I was smarter. Before my family could speak, I proactively handed them 1,000 yuan and said, "I'm still a student, and I only earn this much each month. But I'll study extra hours for credits, try to graduate early, and then earn money to buy formula for my nephew." My answer satisfied the entire family. My recent demeanor seemed to indicate my willingness to dedicate everything to the family. My parents were very relieved. They spoke proudly of me outside, feeling their daughter was obedient. They thought they had me perfectly controlled. At the same time, their calls to me increased. Mother felt she suffered greatly, sacrificing so much for the family, but no one understood. Sophia was miserable because her child was difficult to raise, and her mother-in-law was constantly causing trouble. Her husband and father-in-law were both straightforward men. My brother had a mistress and wanted her to seek my help, making me promise to keep it a secret from Sophia and the family. Father never came home, caring nothing for family matters, only wanting me to work more and send more money home. Look, there wasn't a single normal person in this family, including me. Therefore, I studied even harder, passed every skill test I could, claimed all scholarships, and started interning early at major companies. After I graduated, Mother and Sophia were unusually in sync. Their mother-in-law-daughter-in-law relationship was incredibly harmonious, and they set their sights on my marriage. Because the child was frequently ill and the mother-in-law-daughter-in-law conflict was severe, Mother refused to look after the child for Sophia, always acting uninvolved. My brother was busy with his mistress, so Sophia had to care for the child herself. Over the past few years, their constant squabbles had nearly drained the family's finances. My brother, relying on the family's trust, used the excuse of going out for business, taking family money to support his mistress outside, worsening the family's situation. If they could marry me off for a large dowry, to them, it would be a no-loss deal. So I didn't go home. They frantically urged me, sometimes hundreds of calls a day. I took out my phone's SIM card and moved to a city where no one knew me, living alone. In less than a year, they found me through the police and forced me to return. The police's reason was that my brother had abandoned his wife and child, directly leaving home, and the child was mentally handicapped, of the type that no amount of money could cure. Sophia saw no way out and insisted on a divorce. My parents, wanting to save money on a caregiver, took care of their grandchild themselves. One fell and was injured, the other suffered a stroke and was paralyzed on one side. When I returned home, I saw Father lying in bed, Mother in a wheelchair, holding a drooling baby in her arms. I put down my luggage, sighing inwardly, how truly pathetic. Ilara, you're finally home, Ilara. Seeing me, both parents were very emotional. They seemed to want to hug me but couldn't move a single step. Mother gripped my hand, recounting a litany of my brother's and Sophia's misdeeds, finally embracing me and weeping with regret. Ilara, Mother wasn't good before. I only thought about saving money, making you suffer everywhere. Ilara, do you hate Mother? Don't abandon Mother, please. Mother only has you as a child now, only you. I had waited for this apology for so long. Looking at Mother, her face streaked with tears and snot, my heart was calm, without a ripple. When I was little, because of Mother's excessive frugality, I was always malnourished, dressed like a beggar, and looked down upon by classmates and teachers. I came home wanting my parents' protection, but they only told me I was making a fuss. Growing up, I understood the problems of this family. For my love for them, I always sacrificed, but they took it for granted. In my past life, they exploited my labor. After draining me dry, they sold me to an abusive old man just for a dowry. I had truly waited for this apology for so long that I didn't want it anymore. On the third day of my return, Mother finally couldn't hold back. She directly thrust the baby into my arms, giving me a string of instructions. Then she waved her hand, revealing a haughty expression like an old empress. Father, having suffered a stroke, had difficulty speaking, but within 2 days he could skillfully use a cane. Ilara, come here. For the past few days, the house was filled with Father calling me, the baby crying, Mother calling me, Mother scolding me. It truly felt like being a maid, and an unappreciated one at that. During that time, I met Sophia again. She had become much thinner, her face haggard, eyes sunken, her expression filled with bitterness. It was clear her life wasn't easy. Seeing my parents bossing me around, making me spin, she was overjoyed, seeming quite smug, and said, "Your brother and I can't live together anymore. When this child goes to school and grows up to marry, they'll have to rely on their aunt." My heart sank. I returned to my room and found that all the fake documents I had prepared were gone. They were originally just a precaution, but it turned out my predictions were accurate. The next day, Mother called me over, lamenting the family's troubles. Then she thrust her grandson, who had just wet himself and was drooling profusely, into my arms. Mother said, "You are his aunt and you are this child's elder. You can't be so heartless. Your sister-in-law found a miracle doctor. The doctor says this illness can be cured, it only needs 100,000 yuan. Ilara, you've been working for so long, you must have some savings. Be a good girl, take out this money. Consider it a loan from mother. I couldn't help but burst into laughter, flashing a radiant smile at my parents, just like the dutiful daughter they spoke of. This money, if you want it, mother and father, then I'll earn it for you. Very quickly, I found a real estate agent. In front of my parents, more than a dozen people came to view the house in one day. Some potential buyers complained that my parents, these two patients, were too dirty. They spoke harsh words, using the opportunity to drive down the price. My parents had maintained their dignity their entire lives. How could they endure such humiliation? But they were weak, unable even to retort. Neighbors, hearing the commotion, came to watch the spectacle. A crowd gathered at the front door, and I deliberately didn't close it. Seeing my parents' pathetic state, the neighbors burst into mocking laughter. Oh dear, they're finally moving. Good, excellent. This house had a family faking illness. I thought it was bad luck. Fighting loudly every day, paralyzed and still not peaceful. Now they're finally leaving. These people spoke truly cruel words. Mother sobbed, repeatedly calling me, Ilara, Ilara, close the door, close the door. I, of course, didn't close the door, but on my face I wore the expression of a dutiful daughter, hastily saying, Mother and father, brother and Sophia are not reliable. You want me to be his aunt, cure my nephew's illness, raise him, buy him a house and a car? Where would I get such capability? Or should we sell the house and move into a smaller one? Life would be better then. The potential buyers and neighbors, hearing this, were all astonished. The neighbors criticized my parents. How old is Ilara? You want her to raise this child her whole life? Have your consciences been eaten by dogs? That's right, from childhood to adulthood, you only knew how to be harsh with Ilara, not giving her enough to eat or wear, and now you're still plotting against her like this. These parents are worthless. These two old people aren't without money, at least they still have a house. They almost forgot Ilara is their own daughter. That's right, even though they're disabled and bedridden, they still have a belly full of evil intentions. If you ask me, they deserve it. Mother wailed, tears streaming down her face, but no one was moved. She was even called an old green tea. Father was so enraged that his eyes rolled back, his mouth twisted, and he passed out again. Dr. Tran's diagnosis was that father's condition had worsened. Mother hugged the crying baby, weeping and clutching my hand. Ilara, what do we do now? What do we do? I feigned panic and worry, then shoved the house sale contract into Mother's hand, also reproaching her. At a time like this, Mother, do you still have a conscience? At a time like this, Ilara, do * you still have a conscience? The two voices rang out almost simultaneously. Mother was just one word slower than me. She froze for a moment, but I continued without stopping. The house is like this now. Isn't father more important than money? Mother can't be so selfish. Or, I stared directly into Mother's eyes, speaking word by word, or do you want to continue saving money, saving even father's medical expenses? Money is life. Memories flooded my mind. I remembered Mother saying, doctor's visits are too expensive. Ilara, living like this is suffering anyway. Why not save some money? Now Mother said, this money cannot be saved. Your father is only paralyzed, not dead. He can still be saved, he can still be saved. Having gotten the answer I expected, no anger surged within me as I had imagined, only a sense of amusement. I immediately lost the mood for acting, directly thrust the contract into Mother's hand, and looked at her coldly. She was so anxious she sobbed, holding the pen in her trembling hand for a long time, as if clinging to a tiny shred of hope, just as she had asked dozens of times over the past 2 days. She now voiced again, Ilara, you've been working for so long, do you really not have any money? I snatched the contract back, threw out a single sentence, and prepared to turn and leave. If Mother doesn't want to treat him either, then I'll go tell father, tell him to rest assured and enjoy his remaining days. No, it was almost a shriek. Mother lowered her head as if resigned to fate, saying, give me the pen, I'll sign, I'll sign. We found a buyer who paid in full cash, and the house transfer procedures were quickly completed. Spending 1/3 of the house money, father was pulled back from death's door, but his body became even weaker. With money in hand, I hired a maid, a caregiver, a nanny for the baby, and a nurse for my parents. Mother continuously complained about the waste of money, wanting to send them away. I didn't refuse. I listened to Mother and let the staff go, then disappeared for a day, only returning for 10 minutes. I continued to disappear for a day, repeating this pattern daily. Before the fourth day, Mother frantically grabbed my hand, even more anxious than I was, repeatedly saying, "Hire people, quickly hire people." I smiled. "Isn't that not so good? Won't it be too expensive?" Mother, tormented by her illness and children, was not lightly affected. She was a little unstable mentally, repeating nonstop, "Must find people. This money cannot be saved. Must find people, must find people." "All right." I continued to play the good daughter and brought the 2 staff members back. One cared for the baby, one attended to my parents. In the spacious rented house, there were no arguments or squabbles, as if it were a harmonious family once more. Suddenly, the door was kicked open. The uninvited guest was my brother. I was sitting on the balcony sunbathing, Mother was watching TV in the living room, Father sat in his wheelchair watching the caregiver look after the baby. Everything was so harmonious, yet it became a thorn in my brother's eyes. He roared, "Ah, you sold my asterisk house just for yourselves to enjoy, didn't you? That was asterisk my asterisk house. Mine, how could you sell it? How could you?" My brother started smashing things haphazardly, pushing Father off his wheelchair, making the baby scream in fear, shattering the TV, slapping Mother twice, and then grabbing a vase, he lunged at me. I was also startled, but before he could even get close to me, he was subdued by the caregiver and maid, directly knocked unconscious. I casually called the police and contacted my brother's creditors. When Sophia received the news, she rushed over. My brother was already at the police station. She wanted to bail him out but couldn't. Then she stormed into the rented house, grabbing my mother and demanding, "Are you people crazy? That's your son, how could you put him in there? Give me back my husband, give me back my husband." Mother cried, repeatedly saying she had no other choice, that she didn't want to. Sophia completely lost control. She slapped Mother several times, yelling, "Didn't you say Alara was easy to fool? That as long as my husband and I weren't home, you could trick Alara into becoming a slave in this house to help me raise my son until he's grown and married. But what about now? The house is gone, my husband is in jail. For this dying old man, you sold my house. Every day you talk about diligently saving, yet you spend so much money hiring people. You're a mother and you're crippled. If you can't take care of the family, then why don't you just die? How dare you spend money hiring people? Do you know how much money you've wasted?" The relentless questions, step by step, cornered Mother until she had nowhere to retreat. "Ah!" Mother shrieked as if completely insane. "What do you mean I wasted money? What do you mean your house? That house was bought by me and this old man together. It's asterisk our asterisk house, not yours. I'm old and disabled, I don't have much longer to live. Why can't I spend money and enjoy myself? Why?" As mother-in-law and daughter-in-law questioned each other, I appeared silently from the corner of the room like a ghost, sneering, "Selling the house is to cure illness. So, to save money, can you also save on lives?" Sophia's eyes widened, completely astonished, her mouth agape, unable to speak for a long time. Mother's sensitive nerves were triggered, and she shouted loudly, "I want to live, I must live. Don't even think about making me and your father die just to save money. Don't even think about it." Sophia lunged at Mother, beating her furiously. "You old hag who doesn't know how to die. Why are you saying this now? Why didn't you do something sooner? If you hadn't given me expired medicine, why would my child be like this? Why would this family be in such a state? You old hag, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I know it now. All that talk about saving money was just a pretense. You're cunning, you have an evil conscience. You don't want to see us live well, you have to make us suffer together. You have to destroy this family to be satisfied." The caregiver and nurse pulled Sophia away. Mother, almost choked to death, finally regained her composure. Sophia's eyes were bloodshot, completely out of control. Seeing she couldn't do anything to Mother, she turned directly to me and spilled a torrent of truth. "Ilara, you probably don't know this, do you? Your brother and I leaving was a plan concocted by your good parents. They did it on purpose, wanting you to come home and be their slave. After draining all your savings from these past years, they planned to sell you to an abusive old man for a dowry. That old hag has an evil conscience. She plots against you like that, and you're still foolishly listening to her. Are you going to let her sell you off later?" Having gotten the answer I had intended, I revealed a mocking smile, looking at my parents. Father, paralyzed, kept shaking his head, drool trickling from the corner of his mouth, full of denial. Mother's face was filled with guilt, repeatedly saying, "It's not like that. Ilara, don't listen, it's not like that." I smiled, took out my phone, and played a surveillance video. "This is from when Sophia visited you last time and talked privately with Mother and Father." I had already installed surveillance cameras, so of course, I knew everything. The conversation in the video was exactly as Sophia had described. Mother said, "This unfilial child dared to abandon me and her father. Even if we sell her, exchanging her life for money would be well-deserved." Now the entire room was silent, even breathing became abrupt. Mother was stunned. Ilara, so you knew everything." I looked at Sophia's bewildered expression and spoke. I knew everything, clearly and plainly from beginning to end. At this point, no matter how foolish Sophia was, she could react. So it was all you? You were behind everything? You destroyed my home? You wretch, I'll kill you, I'll kill you." Her thrashing was truly frenzied. The maid and caregiver had already learned the truth from me earlier and now acted completely coldly. They restrained Sophia, who, like a madwoman, desperately wanted revenge but could do nothing. Watching this scene, I felt quite smug. Sophia thrashed until she was exhausted, then suddenly cried out in genuine anguish, muttering, "It's over, it's really over. They're done for." But I could finally shed these burdens, no longer needing to worry or be afraid. I could truly begin my own good life. My brother was sued by his creditors. The family didn't have enough money, so he could only go to prison and accept rehabilitation. Sophia frantically wanted a divorce, but my parents staunchly refused. Sophia pushed too hard. Mother, in her wheelchair, went to Sophia's parents' house. Mother didn't make a scene, she just acted weak, crying pitifully. Those who didn't know the truth blamed Sophia and her parents' family. Mother went many times, and some idle person diligently recorded each visit and posted them on short video platforms, attracting countless gossipers. In this era, it's still too harsh for women. Countless dirty, insulting, and cursing words were directed at Sophia. Mother's plan succeeded. Sophia couldn't divorce, or perhaps she was too scared, and could only obediently return to take my place from the past life, becoming a beast of burden in this family, constantly bossed around by my parents. This entire family, none of them normal, was destined to be bound together, tormenting each other for life. As for me, I had long since left this city, going to a place where no one knew me, truly starting my own new life.